Well, we're back on Virtual Pool 4 again, and it's going to be another VP4 10 Ball World Championship match. Another of the round 2 matches. And now, I don't know why I've started this stream. The reason I'm saying that is that one of the players isn't in the lobby yet, although he was here about half an hour or so ago, and he has disappeared. It's a match between Spectredawn and Zavierx, who, well, looking at the clock, he's got about a minute before the room goes up. He will still have 30 minutes to get into the room, and I've never seen him play, so I don't know what sort of standard he is. He's listed as a champ player, but that may well be from 9 ball rooms. I doubt very much. I don't know even what he does play, whether he's played a lot of 10 ball. Spectredawn certainly predominantly plays 9 ball. Spectredawn's a player who, well, I don't know whether he's somebody under a different name, but he's a more than capable player. And I won't be able to make any judgment on zavierx until we see him hit a few balls. But we wait to see whether that is going to happen. It's due to go at the top of the hour, and the room is now up. And Spectredawn is waiting to see if his opponent's going to arrive. While that's happening, a quick look at the bracket, and well, we had a match last night with Mr. Bill and Romario. That kicked off at midnight my time, and oh goodness me, Romario sitting at 12 all had battled back to get to 12 all and then blew his chances with 2 terrible shots in each rack. In the last 2 racks that Bill needed, Romario missed a 6 ball, and then he missed a 9 ball. Just needed the 9 and 10 to tie the match, go into a final rack, and he blew himself out the water. But Bill's moved through to play semi-pro. That match is arranged for 5 days time, and that's going to be 6 PM my time, so I'll be able to get that, which I think will be the Sunday night. I think the Saturday night is Popman and Interchange X at the same time, 6 o'clock. But this is a match we're waiting on. Let's have a look. And see if zavierx is going to show. Well, there he's arrived, so we'll get into the room. And I'll have to just change the cloth colour, just a sec. Well, the lag's going to go first of all, and then I'll change it to the blue cloth. Once again, I don't know what players what on either side of the table. Well, zavierx has won the lag. We'll hit the settings, get into miscellaneous, change that to blue. So zavierx gets the 9 on the break and a shot in the 1, but it's a thin cut, and very strong chance he's going to be colliding with that 4 ball. So straight away he's going to need a bit of luck to get this cue ball up and down the table without running into too much. Good evening, Popman. And zavierx has tried to play the safe, but he hasn't got it, I don't think. Spectredawn can see enough of the 1 just to run through. So zavierx first attempted safety has gone wrong. Good evening, chaps. Welcome aboard. Now, I've tested all the chat. Twitch and YouTube is working okay, as should Facebook if anybody stumbles across it on there. But if any of you guys didn't get a chance to see the Romario Mr. Bill match, you've got to watch the last couple of racks in that match, because it ended a disaster for Romario. It's all a question of when Romario's going to blow up. It can either be very early on and all the way through the match, or, well, it can happen basically any time. I'm not saying anything if you haven't seen the end of the match, but you've got to see it. So, Spectredawn is going to punish zavierx, and he's going to win the rack against the break to get the first one on the board, and that will now give zavierx a fair idea of how he's going to have to keep things tight. But like I said, I can't make any judgment on the standard of zavierx on one shot. I have to see how he sets himself up for a couple of racks, how good his thought process is, and how good his knowledge is as well, because it will take a little while just to make that sort of judgment. And he's overhit that. Now again, that's something where he had a huge margin of error to get onto that 3, so he's played 2 errors where he's overhit the ball, so he's going to have to work on that touch, and that may well come to him as the match goes on. But the other factor that I'm also interested with any player is not only the thought process, but whether they are thinking clearly on terms of whether a shot's worth going for, or whether it's worthwhile looking to keep things tight and working on the safety side of the game, because if zavierx doesn't show any sort of inclination towards that side of the game, then he's going to be very one-dimensional. And there's far too many players that play the game where they only have one aspect of their game, and that's just simply looking at a ball and trying to pot it every time. So we wait and see. Now here zavierx has got an easy kick on the 4. If he can get this full in the face, he needs to put a bit of drag on it to try and kill the cue ball as soon as it hits the 4. It's a bit like a stun shot, but he's just babied it, and that's doing nothing. It's going to be a miscall, and we'll also, I don't know whether he was hoping to get any sort of cover at that pace. And all the time your opponent plays sort of weak shots, it just gives you all the more confidence, because unless Spectredawn has played zavierx before, then he won't have an idea what sort of level he's going to be playing at. So it's fascinating to see how things will pan out. But I've always said there's more than one way to beat an opponent. You might be playing somebody that's a much better positional player than you, but how good is their position going to be if you got them locked up most of the time? You know, that's one side of the game that a lot of players need to work on. And zavierx looking for cover again, but just not not anywhere near a half decent safety so far. So he's hitting everything far too heavy. There is no touch, and the other thing about that is, as well, as he doesn't have the mouse under control. That's the first thing that springs to mind. Any player who wants to play safety shots has got to be in full control of their mouse, and that is to say they know how the touch has to be and what the pace is going to be like, or have a fair idea of what the pace is going to be like when you play a shot. And in those first few shots that Zavierx has played, that does not give me much confidence. And it's straight away going to be a fairly simple tidy up here for Spectredawn. It's 2-0. The break goes back to Zavierx, or Xavier, however you want to pronounce his name, I don't know. What was the England score when I watched? I switched on ITV. I seen they were up 2-1, but then I killed that. So they must be about, what, 4-1 up by now, I would have thought. Again, I'm surprised he never went for distance here. Look at the cluster of balls at the top end of the table. He easily had the angle to come off the left side rail over to the right side rail and get right up into the top of the table there. And now Zavierx is in trouble, because Spectredawn has done the obvious and just get distance, and you know, just hoping you get that little bit of luck and get a bit of cover behind a ball, and that's the end result. 5-3. Oh, goals are flying in left, right and centre in that match. So Zavierx has given ball in hand to Spectredawn. Not quite a simple run out here though. I'll have a quick look at the bracket. Hang on a sec to see, who did Zavierx play in the first round? Oh, right. Oh, yeah, he was playing that Phoenix and that ended up in a forfeit. So Zavierx hasn't really had a match. I think that Phoenix person quit mid-match or fairly early on in the match. So Spectredawn couldn't get a lucky break and getting on the 4. How does that look? Well, I don't think he can see enough of the 4. Well, what the hell is he trying here? Trying the billiard. Well, they're going to be on tied up behind the 9 here in a sec. Well, Spectredawn had a good chat. Now, at first he was looking to play the 4 through to the 6, and it probably would have been a better shot, because if he had got that cue ball nailed to the 5, the chances are he would end up with ball in hand, and he could have opened up the 6 and 10, and he didn't take that opportunity there. So there's still work to be done for this rack, but there's a little incident there where Spectredawn wasn't really thinking positive enough there. A very simple opportunity to push the 4 to the 6, open it up, and keep the cue ball nailed to the 5, nailed to the 9. And this might be a hook. Nope, just clip the 9. Well, there's no point in her entering tournaments then if you're just going to make an arse of herself. That's just stupid. And Spectredawn doing everything to try and get the 6 out. Well, he's managed that, but now we're going to see how good Zavierx is at trying to get this cue ball somewhere up the top of the table to have a shot, either a pot in the 6 or a possible 6-9 combo, but it's going to have to do an awful lot with this cue ball. Again, it's going too far. But a simple safety, if he can get the pace just to roll that 6 to the rail. Well, he's called the bank. I don't like the angle for the bank. That's actually going to have to be made. I don't think it's a natural bank. Oh, he's played that one well. Can he follow up and get this 7 in? 8 and 9 are sorry, not 8 and 9. 9 and 10 are sitting there just waiting. It was a good bank because it had to be made. And it's a good rack to pinch. Gets him off the mark into the match. Break goes back to Spectredawn. Once again, anybody else who's watching, it's race to 14 on the winner's side, and it's also alternate break with a 1 minute shot clock and a 1 minute extension. So plenty of time to think about a particular shot. Well, that's going to end up safe. That's a good result. So we've got sort of we've actually not really got a problem in the table. And Spectredawn's picked out the kick, and had that one ball missed a little touch in the 3 there, it'd have been an excellent outcome. But these balls are all sitting there to be potted. Yeah, that's a poor shot. It's poor in both aspects because nowhere near the pot and nowhere near getting on that 2 ball. And I think there's a possible 110 combo here. That's certainly going to have to be made. I know it's nowhere near it. I thought that was on a better line to the middle pocket there. It's certainly nowhere on. Now then, here's an immediate 210 combo if zavierx gets control of the cue ball. And this simply has to go in. I mean, how can you miss this? What a bonus that is. Well, that's the way to win racks. And from 2-0, we're back all square. Another dry one. Yeah, so now we've got Bedhead and Larry over on the one-loss side, so there's going to be some interesting matches coming up there as well. Survival matches. Bedhead and Larry are two of the strongest players in VP4, and they're going to have to hope to avoid each other to the very last minute on that side of the bracket. Now, does that one squeeze past the two? Very tight, yeah. So let's see if Zavierx can settle into the game. Oh, that's going too hard. It would have been a good safety if the pace was right. No, Simon. Surprisingly enough, good evening. Normally I am off on the Wednesday and the Thursday, but they changed my shift this week, so I'm off today and tomorrow, which is why I was up to midnight last night for the start of the Romario match, and I didn't get to bed till about 1:45. In fact, after 1:45 in the morning this morning, and because I've got tomorrow off, I'm managing to get this match in as well. Well, Spectredawn's attempted safety there wasn't of any great quality. Zavierx has a shot in the one. He's going to have to leave the cue ball over here somewhere for a cut in the two. And of course the immediate problem thereafter is the fact that the three ball's dead. Oh, I forgot to check my little doodle. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's working fine. Well, Zavierx has played what you would call a reasonable safety, but it's an easy jump. But there's always that safety net there of the three ball. Well, the two cuts, no problem. But all you have to do here is make sure you don't hook yourself on a shot in the three. That's the objective here, so you've got to avoid running into anywhere near that 6, 8 and 9. Well, he's had a thump at it, and give him his dues, he's got lucky and got the 3 out. I don't know what the hell he's apologising for. Or did I miss something there? Why the hell's the guy apologising? Somebody explain that to me. The last thing you're going to get out of me in a tournament match is an apology. Sod that for a game of soldiers. I mean, as far as I'm seeing, the guy potted the 2 ball, got the power in the cue ball, got it running, and got a lucky break. You don't apologise for that. You just carry on and keep potting balls. There's no such thing as courtesy in a tournament match. You play by the rules, and as long as you're playing by the rules, that's fine. When you start apologising for crap, no, that's not the mindset you want. You want to bury the guy. It's a death stare you should have when you're playing the game. That's exactly how the mindset should be. None of this goody two-shoes crap. You have to get that nasty streak into your game. How are you going to bury this guy? That's the mindset you need to have, because I'll tell you something, sooner or later you're going to bump into somebody who has exactly got that attitude and they'll bury you. Stuff the sheer luck. The game is all about luck. In fact, 9-ball's the worst game for that, but you need that bit of luck. And I'll tell you something else, in case you don't realise it, it's not the lucky break that you get, it's how much you make of that bit of luck. Because zavierx is still to win the rack. That's the important issue. Doesn't matter how much luck you have. And he's failed. You know, sometimes you know, these guys say, "Oh, it's only a tournament. I'm just playing for fun." I've never played a game for fun. Never. I play to beat the arse off of somebody because I know they're going to do it to me. I've always done that. Right. Well, zavierx apologising for his bit of luck, but he couldn't back it up. And finds himself trailing 3-2 again. And that's another thing, you know, another thing I don't do in tournaments is sit chatting to somebody when I'm playing them. I've got absolutely no interest whatsoever in making small talk in a tournament. My mind is in other things. So, has this parrot chewed your finger off yet, Simon? Dirty little buggers, they birds, so they are. You have one of them sitting on your shoulder, it'll chew your earlobe off. Well, Spectredawn has got his work cut out here. Yeah, I've seen the pic. Yeah, it's a beautiful looking bird. And the thing is, you could end up being in your 60s or your 70s by the time that bird pops its clogs. They don't live for quite a few years. How are we going here? Well, we're looking to get in behind the 7 or the 6 here if we can get far enough. Well, when you think about that, Simon, well, you're actually strictly not Scottish anyway. But in terms of the lifespan of the average Scotsman, the parrot's got a better chance of making it than he has. Well, Spectredawn going to try and jump and pot this 5. Well, he needs to work in his jump shots. And this is not exactly a great opportunity with ball in hand for zavierx because the 5 just sitting so awkward. It's too close to that 8-ball to sort of make any headway here. I think the best he can do is... well, hopefully he's just lining up and looking at the 6. If we can just tweak that 5 in and just come back out slightly, he'll give himself a shot in the 6. But how does he hold for the 7? See, that's the problem. Oh yeah, oh aye, definitely. I'm doing my best to get to the finish line. I mean, think now. You know, that's a good point, that about the parrot. I mean, it's bad enough having one in the house chewing your ear off, but now you've got two birds in the house chewing your ear off. Now, what did you call the bird? What did you call it again? What's its name? I would have called it Dead in honour of Monty Python. See, you weren't even thinking about that, Simon, you see. I'm the type of person that could have come up with a name for the bird. What's the name of the bird? Oh, Bobby. I would have called it Dead, in tribute to the Dead Parrot sketch. In fact, the bird's full name could have been Dead, Deceased, and Is No More. Well, we're back all square somehow or other. Oh, no, it's no Bobby then, it's Bobby. B-O-A-B-B-Y. Bobby. Oh no, here's Stubbin to start bragging. That's the worst case scenario. Oh, he thought better of it and buggered off. Good. Well, there's still problems here as well with this layout. Got to get up the table onto that 5 ball off the 4 here. Yeah, Stubb knows that, well, Stubb's well aware that Spectredawn is possibly, and I say possibly, his next opponent. So he's now working to get inside somebody's head. Now, I don't think Stubb has seen how Vince has played, but I can tell you straight away the standard that he played with his positional play is far better than Stubb does. Stubb has the same problem that Bedhead has, and I mean both of them can pop balls and can run racks. That's a given. But if they've ever got a problem, Stubb's problem. Where did Spud come from? Stubb's problem is always leaving himself way out on pots, and you know, potting things from distance, leaving himself tough angles, and you know, in tight games, he's got more likelihood of going out of shape for that reason. And Bedhead has exactly the same problem, and it was night and day for Bedhead because you know. Bedhead didn't do anything wrong against Larry. Larry got absolutely no luck, and Bedhead won comfortably, but it was an entirely different story when he came up against Vinces. You could see the difference in standard as the match went on, as it got deeper into the match. There was no weakness in Vinces at all, and he has played very solid, as has Semi-Pro. I mean, Semi-Pro is yet to be pushed, but all he's done is done his job. That's what I think I said in his match. All he's doing is just doing what's expected of him, and being pretty reasonable with his play so far. It's going to be interesting as they come up against one another in these latter stages. Definitely is. That's where the tournament's going to really come to life. But Spectredawn has the lead again. He's going to have to avoid hitting that 8 ball, and I wonder whether he can, because he's going to have to try and check back to get on that 6. Well, the 8 ball has done him a favour, and it's worked out nice. So Spectredawn with the chance to open up the gap again and get it back to 2 racks after that early 2-0 lead. And this is going to have to be clever, because the natural path would take him towards the 10, so he's made sure he's left himself high. But once again, he's still got work to do to control the cue ball here. And that will do. So this for the 5-3 lead. Zavierx breaking off in rack number, where are we? Rack number 9. Gets the ball in the break, but no joy at all. Now, what do I keep saying about push-outs? Anybody watching the stream will know exactly what I keep saying about them. You have to get wise. Now, he can play a safety and try and lock up the 2, and look what he's done. A very poor push-out. No substance to it whatsoever. And he's just left an open 1 ball for Spectredawn to get off and running in this rack. When are people going to learn and start using the head when they play a push out? Well, this is going to have to be good. The angle's there, but he needs the power. He's fairly straightish on the 4. He's got a little angle, but he's going to have to pummel this to get the cue ball moving and avoid hooking himself. And that's nice, I think. That is very nice. Same again here, getting down on the other side of this 6, because it won't pass the 8. It's too tight to even try and cheat the pocket, I think. So he's got to get down and avoid hooking himself. So I think it's going to be the worst possible outcome. That was always a problem. Much better to have under hit that and left the cue ball sort of there. He would have had no problem. He might have got the second prize though. Now, you see, things like that I wouldn't be apologising for, because that's all you're hoping for, a bit of luck. It's all part of the game. And Zavierx is in a whole heap of trouble here. And Spectredawn is, well, provided Zavierx can't get this safe. Well, he has got it safe, he'll take that. But it's now turned into quite an important rack. Important because the balls are all in the open and whoever gets in should run out. But if Spectredawn gets it, he's then got that comfort zone to fall back on. Especially with it being alternate break. And that's a weak one. That is very weak. That 6 ball should have been on that bottom rail, there or thereabouts near the 8 ball, and he's underhit that a fair bit. Now that needs a lucky break, and he's not got it. And it's not a great bank either. So much better just to play the negative safety, and we're going to get this tip tapping for a few minutes here until somebody overhits it. And the thing to think about as well when you're playing this sort of safety is the fact that the 7 ball doesn't pass the 10, so you've always got that little sort of safety net. Now that's a better angle for the bank, and can he get the cue ball moving though? See, he's played the bank. Now, what in the end, what was the point in going for it? Because the cue ball's nowhere. Okay, he's left it a thin cut for Spectredawn, but if you're going to go for the bank, you've got to be going for the run out and try and get to the 8 ball. And now Zavierx in trouble again. How good is his jumping? We've yet to see evidence of that, and we're about to. That's going to, oh, well, that's a nice break, but Spectredawn can play the safety. He can get it thin towards the 10 and use the 10 as a stopper, and if he gets this right, he can get behind that 8 ball. That's what I'd be playing. Got it too thick, but he's got distance and he's left it awkward. But this is a shot where you light it up and you go all out for the pot, because you know the cue ball's coming down towards the 8. But again, he's sort of half-heartedly going for these. That's 2 shots he's played. He's played a bank where you think, well, what was the point in playing the bank? Because the cue ball's nowhere. And he's just played a pot in the 7 there, which is half-hearted, to leave himself way high in the 8. You've got to go 100% for them. That's scratching. Well, there's the lifeline. There's a lucky break for Zavierx, but he can't keep relying on stuff like this happening. The unforced error from Spectredawn is giving Zavierx a chance to get back within 1 when it really shouldn't have been. Now, how straight is that? Can he get that stunned in and get behind the 10? Just. Now, the question is, are you guys agreeing with me, or are you thinking I'm just moaning? You know, it's I mean, the criticism is there. It's whether it's valid and justified. I mean, those 2 shots that Zavierx had there. Now, okay, he's won the rack, and but if you're going to try and win the rack, and you're going to take on those 2 shots, it's got to be 100%, 100% to pot the ball, but also thinking about what you're doing with the cue ball. And I don't think he paid very much attention to any of that in those 2 shots. I mean, this is what I look for in players, especially players like Zavierx who I haven't seen play. So I'm trying to make a judgment on what their capabilities are going to be and what the likelihood is of doing anything to get to the business end of this match. And for some reason, he's only 1 rack behind. But all the time now you're thinking, if Spectredawn can get his act together, he can run away. Because he is the one that is going to be playing 100% to get to that next ball. Good evening, Slim. Well, this is... he could have played that better. And I think he's now gone too far. The reason I say that is had he finished sort of there, or there on the 5, he'd have had a much better chance to get into that 6 ball. Does it cut? Oh, it cuts. It's tight, but if he hits that rail and hits the 7, it ain't going anywhere. I think he can just sneak it past it. He's got to just cheat the pocket slightly, and he's managed to get it. I didn't think that was a clean pot there, which is why I was thinking of him getting in to break the 6. Well, this is gone straight, so now this is about touch. Does he just roll through and leave the 9 into the middle, or does he try and get good on the 9? And his touch is good. Well, this is going to give him the 2-rack gap again. Oh, well, there's another careless one. Now, well, you say he's settling in, and, well, if ever that was a sign of nerves, I don't think anything else will give you any more clue than what you just seen there on that 10 ball. And all of a sudden, we're back at 5-all, and zavierx, you know, what's he actually done yet? Has he potted any more than 3 balls in a row? But it's 5-all. Strange. Some players are great in a challenge room, but when it comes to playing in the tournaments, because that's where the questions are going to be asked of you, whether you can hold your nerve. That I don't think is that bad. That is not bad at all. Now, zavierx's touch and safeties has not been that great, but he has got Spectredawn buried there. I think he just checked that cue ball there just to tweak it in behind the 9. And Spectredawn, well, there's the cardinal sin. Well, it's working both ways there. Spectredawn has broke out the problem ball, and he's sacrificed ball in hand. And said to zavierx, right, there's the table, there's all the balls, and what can you do with it? And that's again really poor. There is no touch there at all to get that 2 ball to the rail and try and lock Spectredawn up behind the 7. So Spectredawn, his tactic has worked. He played the... Well, I presume he played a deliberate foul there to break those balls open. And now it's all about running the rack, because zavierx has fell right into the trap and made a hash of that safety. And the open invitation for Spectredawn to run out. Well, Spectredawn's got himself a wee bit out of line with this shot. It's a thin one. Now, is Spectredawn going to be affected by that missing the 10 ball? Is it going to fire him up? He's still got to get to the 8. Again, it's going to be awkward. Just got to judge the pace on this. Don't do anything silly and scratch. Oh, he's left this. This is in bedhead territory. Leaving it awkward. And again, it's going to be the finish cut in the 9. 10 ball wide open and so easy to go out of shape on it, but he's gone around the corner and he's going to go back into the lead, provided he doesn't do anything completely daft on this. I think that might get him a bit more focused at that last rack on the 10 ball. That might have woken him up. So Spectredawn with a 1 rack lead, breaking off in rack number 12. Another dry one. Now look at the balls here. The first problem is the 1 to the 2, obviously, but the rest of the balls are a join the dots here. Now, are we going to see Zavierx pot at least half a dozen of these balls? No. That's the answer to that question. And again, I think he's playing too quickly. I don't think he's paying any attention to the fact that he's got a minute shot clock and he's rushing to get things done. He's racing ahead of himself, and he hasn't got his head screwed on to do anything here. Not from that evidence. Making it an open invitation for Spectredawn just to show what he can do when he's given the chance. And you've then got to ask yourself the question, how long is zavierx going to play in this match before he realises that? He's just at the point in waiting and Spectredawn making more mistakes and trying to pick off the bits and pieces here. He's been gifted a couple of these racks and he's hung up the 6. And again, you can also say about Spectredawn, if he can't get that rhythm going and get the job done on that rack, and then he lets zavierx in and he comes in and pinches the rack again, that's going to hurt as well. Now this is where zavierx needs to just slow down and just think about what he's up to here. And this is the crucial one, because if he digs in too much in this, he could go straight into that right middle pocket. This is it. You've got to dig in this one. You've got to dig in. And now it's sort of half-hearted again, and he's left it awkward. That cue ball should have been over on the right. He's way off the 10 ball. It should have been right over by that middle pocket. And his chance may well have gone. So, zavierx's struggles are with controlling that cue ball. And I still put it down to not spending enough time over the time that he's been in VP4 to work out his mouse settings. That's how you get better at the game. It's all part of the learning process, obviously, but if you never ever tweak your mouse settings, you're never going to find that better touch. And Spectredawn has got the jitters here. And provided zavierx does the simple thing and just drops that in and doesn't do all this fancy bang it in and run round the table, he's going to be all square again. This is 10 ball you're talking about. Yeah, you see, neither of them really are 10 ball players anyway. Anytime they'll ever come online, they're pretty much, well, Spectredawn, as far as I've seen, just all he plays is 9 ball. But this match now is not quite halfway, but I'll tell you one thing. Spectredawn is going to get very nervous if he can't get away from Zavierx the closer it gets to the business end of the match. This is where then the old nerves start twitching. Well, a great pot in the 1 and a bit of a lucky break on the 2, and it's just going to have to be rolled in. Keep the cue ball in the middle of the table. No problem getting on the 4. 5 wide open to the middle pocket. Well, he's gone past it. Oh no, he hasn't. He's still in the 4. I'm already falling asleep. I'm ahead of myself here. Now, is he going to drop through and leave the 6-7 combo, or is he going to try and get the other side of that 6 for the other corner pocket? Well, that's what he's played with the spin, and that's a nice shot. He's still got the confidence to be playing the right shots, and that's how your frame of mind should be. As soon as that negativity comes into your head, then you're all over the place. But he's going to have to pull out a good one here again. This is tough. And he doesn't want to be breaking down with these last 2 or 3 balls. So he's gone full-blooded. Played a good cut down the rail. He has to get these put away. And that will do. I can't remember who's breaking next. Well, Spectredawn has won the rack, and that's against the break, so it's his turn. And of course, the other thing about 10 ball is it's a lot more difficult to break off, get a ball in the break, and have a shot on the next ball. And the other factor is the fact that you're working on the alternate break. So it's a game where it's difficult. I mean, only in the professional game in real life can you see players getting into a rhythm and start running racks in 10 ball, because it's much more difficult. Well, Spectredawn will be playing the cut in the 1. 6 ball hanging over the corner pocket, that isn't a problem. But he's overcut it. And, no, he can get to it, but he's, again, got a lot of work to get on that 2 in any way that's going to give him a pot. Now that needs to come round behind the 2 as far as it can. This is another shot where he can't roll up behind the 7 because obviously he's dead in line, but he can go all out for the pot and he'll still be on the 3. Very difficult pot to read the angle. Well, this is a bit like deja vu here, because Spectredawn has the 1 rack lead, the table at his mercy, and looking to open up that gap again. So far, so good. Now, the danger here is coming out for the 7 and going behind the 10, and he's played it well. The control is good. And now round between the 10 and 9 and down to the right middle pocket for the 8. That's the plan here. Now, how's the angle he's got? Let's have a quick shifty. That's perfect. He can leave himself the top side or the bottom side of the 10 ball as we look, because that way it will give him an angle. And once again, that is pretty good. He may want to play this with a bit of inside right though, just to come up the right hand side of the table. That's what he's doing. So, is this going to be the start of a run of racks for Spectredawn, or at least controlling the match? He's now got the 2 racks. But I don't think we've seen an awful lot of evidence here that zavierx is going to be capable of running racks when the balls are all there. His position may well be the downfall and controlling that cue ball to allow him to do it. Well, this could be the 2-10 combo. And this would be a bonus, because there's nothing better than having just opened up the gap, but tucking away another quick rack. I would have thought he'd have got the stats off the VP4 site. That's where all the stats are. Well, that's a good one from zavierx. I'll tell you why. It is really good. Well, maybe not, because the 2 balls locked up in the 8. Had that 2 ball been anywhere out in the open, Spectredawn doesn't hit it. He's got ball in hand with a 2-10 combo, and that has now completely changed this rack. Well, Spectredawn, again, not thinking. He's made the effort to get to hit it when he should have just played the deliberate foul. And zavierx has the 2-10 combo. The 3's locked up. Now, surely to goodness, I mean, he thinks he's playing in a challenge room here. Yeah, that is the wrong choice of shot. It was a 2-10 combo every day of the week, and he has to run out. And I bet you Spectredawn is breathing a sigh of relief, because I'm sure he would have given the rack up for lost, because now zavierx couldn't get anywhere good on the 4. And Spectredawn is back in. Now, why did he not play the combo on the 10? Oh dear, he'll live to regret that. That's provided that Spectredawn can get up the table. Let's have a look at this 7. Well, that 7, I don't think that goes. I think he can cheat it in, but if he gets it wrong, he's going to clip the 9 with the 7. He needs to get a close look at that. In very close. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just dropped in. He gave it every chance to go in. Well, goodness me. this is another rack where Zavierx is going to come in and pinch it. How many have there been? And this is why he's just hanging into this match. This rack should have been over 5 minutes ago, and it should already have been on the board for Zavierx. Now it's back to 8-7. Spectredawn back with a break. The 3-ball thought about going in. And zavierx doesn't have a great shot in the 1. Although the 1 will go past the 6. Well, he's hit it into it, but he'll be happy with the result. Well, this is a strange match. It's strange that from what we've seen, you'd be thinking that Spectredawn would be starting to run away with it, but he just can't get away, and he's missing those critical balls at the wrong end of the rack each time. Well, the 4 balls at the opposite end of the table is going to take a great shot on this 2 and spin off the 7 and miss the traffic to get anywhere onto the 4, and he's not managed it, and now he's looking for the thin brush on the 4. He has to look for distance here. He's got the chance to thin it towards the 8 ball, and it has to be thin. He can't be hitting it too thick and knocking it out. But if he gets it thin and gets up the tee, it looks as if he's banking this, trying maybe to get behind a 9. And again, it is woeful. He's not got any feel there on those shots. So why is he playing them? The easier one was to play the distance shot, and Spectredawn is taking his eye off the ball here. It's getting stranger and stranger, this match. This is a test for Zavierx, and he's at least given himself a shot in the 6. And that was better touch. Now, can he run these balls to get back all square? He doesn't want to risk hooking himself behind a 9, and he's well away from that. And now it's going to be from the 9 to the 10 without scratching in any of those middle pockets. I think he might have gone too straight here with that. Yep, that's the worst possible outcome. He's dead straight. Now it's anybody's guess where he's going to finish up. And that's a beautiful shot. He's managed to stun it, pinch that wee bit of angle, and that's exactly where you want to be. And it's back all square again. And I think the later this match goes, the longer it goes, the worse it's going to be for Spectredawn. He's the one that is expecting to win, and the nerves are beginning to show. And I don't think they'll get any better. And Zavierx just needs, well, he can go all out for the cut, but he's not going to have a great chance of getting on that 4. And that is a much better safety. Used the 6 ball there. Okay, the edge of the 2's showing, but everything's perfectly safe. And Spectredawn just got to the rail. Well, the bank is being called. And it goes. And it's going to be another combo on this 9 ball. But he's looking to line it up for the bank into the top left-hand corner. Difficult one to judge, but again, it's worth the risk because the 5 balls in that top rail, and it's going to be tough to get on there. And how's the touch again? It's far too heavy again. He's sneaked out again, but it's even better for Spectredawn that he can drop down onto the 5. But he's way short there, and he's beginning to pinch a bit here. You can sense it. He should have been another foot up the table for that 5 ball. But he's dug himself out of a problem there. Now the 7, does it go past the 8? Well, it doesn't. So it's going to have to be another combo. But where's the 7 ball going to finish up? Well, if it doesn't go past the middle, well, this is dangerous territory, because look at that 9 ball. And he was doing everything to avoid stunning it in and scratching off the 9, and he's hung the 7. And for the first time in the match, towards the business end of the match, Zavierx has the chat. Now this is a bit tricky, this 9 and to get to the 10. He's got to control that draw, and he's played it nice. And Spectredawn is about to go behind for the first time in the match. Now this is where the test of nerves comes in. And Spectredawn breaking off, has the ball in the break. A cracking shot in the 1, and is he going to open up? Well, this has to be run. It's calling out to be run out this rack. And you would think it's going to be an almighty error to fail on it. And this is the tester. A little draw up to the middle pocket. And he's out into the table, so he's got a wee bit more angle on it. Now, is there any seeds of doubt coming into his head here? Nice angle in the 8 to drop behind the 9, and he should be out now. Well, 10 is off the rail, so it shouldn't be a problem. So we're back all square. Both players needing 5 racks. Zavierx breaks off. And rack number 19. The 2 ball has gone. Has a shot in the 1. Now how does he get on the 3? Well, he's certainly going to be hitting the 8 and the 3. No doubt about that. But he needs that lucky break. And he's got it. And that's worked out very nice. Now the angle is there in the 3 to get across for a long shot in the 4. And he's come across, wrist to scratch, and he's got perfect on the 4. Well, I think this is the best chance that Zavierx is going to get a chance now to run out. And if that just holds up, it's a nice angle on the 6. Now how's Zavierx nerves going to hold up here? That needs to slow up. It's going too far. Oh, this is tough. Yeah, it's tough because he's underhit it. Mind you, had it missed the 9, he would have still had an angle to cut that 8. So it's going to have to be the bank. And it looks really very well set for the bank. That is perfect. Not even touching the sides, but he's going to have to pull another one out. And this might be the reversal here for Zavierx. If he can't get this in, Spectredawn should be in to pinch it. Oh, that's a mile away. That is the country mile and a half away, that one, on the 9. Doing everything he could to hold for the 10, which he managed to do, but the most important part of the shot, he failed big time. So this is the complete reversal. This is the bonus for Spectredawn, that he's finally going to pinch this rack and go back into the lead and get to double figures. It's now 10-9, rack number 20, and also with the break. And a ball has gone in. I think it's the 1. Yeah, the 1 has gone. It's going to be a 2-6-8 combo. And now it's going to be either a 2 billiard to the 6 or a cut from the 2 onto the 6. What's he deciding here? The billiard looks a lot simpler. Well, he's played the cut. And now the problems start, because the 3 ball is going nowhere there. And he's looking to line up the cut. Well, good luck. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, that was really asking an awful lot there. 5 ball isn't a problem as long as you can get there either side of it. And Zavierx, well, once again, way off. And that's what's certainly letting him down. Critical pots like that, he had all the room in the world to get a shot in that 4. But way off the line on the 3. Now, can Spectredawn see it? He can't. He can't get to the potting angle. Well, this just needs a very tiny feather on the 4 just to knock it behind the 9 and make sure that Spectredawn won't have a pot. But Zavierx might be leaving himself open to the stun shot here. No, he's okay. He can't do that because had the cue ball finished sort of here, Spectredawn could have stunned the 4 around the table and buried the cue ball, but that's not on. He's just trying to kick in behind. Now, Zavierx can't get behind the 9 from here, I don't think. Oh, I think he's gotten behind the knuckle. Oh, that is serious. That is serious damage there. But well, again, if you look at the 4, Spectredawn was wise there because he's decided he's going to give Zavierx the ball in hand and try and tie up that 7 ball. Oh dear. But look what's going to happen. Zavierx has missed the 4. And Spectredawn is going to have to kick it. And there he goes apologising again. A great shot, but no shot in the 5. But I don't think Zavierx is going to have much of a shot either. Well, that was strange. Well, okay, he's got the cue ball. The cue ball's ended up against the 5 ball, but I don't know what Spectredawn was really trying there. I think he was maybe trying to get in behind the 7. Well, this is going to sail the rack down the river here if this doesn't come off. And it's left to cut. Fairly simple enough cut. And he's got a shot in the 7. Well, this is another little tweaker, this 9 ball. It's off the rail a fair bit. And he's okay. So it's now going to be the 2 rack gap again for Spectredawn. But having been given that ball in hand, that was a careless miss by Zavierx. And the break from Zavierx is dry, and it will just be the push out. And straight away from this push out, there is a possible cut in the 1, but Spectredawn has left himself vulnerable here to a half decent safety, and Zavierx hasn't got it, but he might be in trouble again himself. The one ball is just going to hide in behind that 3. I think he can he get that gap between the 2 and 3? Let's have a look. Oh, he's calling the... He's calling... No, well, he can get to kick that 1. I'd be more inclined to kick it up the table and just hope for distance. But he'll take that. Well, this is now a critical rack for both players. The Spectredawn kicking the 1 didn't call a pocket, which is always the sign of a player who isn't quite switched on with what can happen in 10 ball. Well, that's going to hang up. Can he see it? Now, can he get to the potting angle of that 1? No, he can't. And this time, Spectredawn has got it tighter on the 10. And this is much more difficult to get near the 1. And this is probably, well, he's digging out the jump stick. Is it going to be good? It's nowhere near it. He'd have been better locking up a ball there and sacrificing ball in hand, I think. He'd a chance to lock up the 10 and the 8 ball there. So there's a bit of 10 ball inexperience here from both of these players. And the 5 ball, not a problem. It's just getting good on it. But Spectredawn has misjudged that 1 by a huge margin. Got into it far too much. Once again, he should have zavierx in trouble. Well, it's not difficult to get to the 5. Is he going to go long? Or is he going to jump? Well, he's going long, I think. But he's called the corner pocket for the 5. I mean, if it goes in, it's a bonus. But all he's really hoping to do is hit it and get it safe. And he's scratched. So now Spectredawn has got what he wants. Ball in hand. Just going to squat out behind the 6. And he wants to get the right angle on this 7 to drop onto the 8. And he's going to have to leave that little high cut or play this with a bit of right inside and go forward and across, which he's done well. Well, surely this time Spectredawn's going to get the job done. Once again, he's overhit that, but he's overhit it well enough that he's left a pretty straight 9 just to go through for the 10. Oh dear me, goodness me. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. he must have had a wee bit of spin on that, because it's now another gift for Zavierx to get it back within one again. Well, now it's safe to say that we're right into the business end of the match, and who is going to hold their nerve? Zavierx has got the problem with trying to run a table when he gets a chance. Spectredawn's the more competent player in doing that, or he's the more likely player to do it, but from the evidence we've seen in the last few racks, these unforced errors have crept in. They've really been in all through the match, which is why zavierx is still in it. And, well, exactly. I mean, I think I need to re-watch this video and mark down what exactly has happened in this match, because I've completely lost the plot. I mean, as far as I can recollect, this match should be over a long while ago. But Spectredawn's done everything he can to keep zavierx in it. Not that he's been doing that deliberately, but the way it's panned out with these misses that's happened, he's really showing severe signs of nerves. Zavierx has played what looks like the deliberate foul. The 10 and 5 ball are awkward. Spectredawn, well, again, he had a good chance of going for 3 fouls there, and it didn't cross his mind. He's more inclined to try and run out. And, well, he can get out and across for the 4. How does he get good in the 5? He's got the angle on the 4 to get this cue ball over here for a shot in the 5. Well, he won't get any better than that, because he can drop through, come off the rail. Well, you see, he's just trying to roll through dead weight. And he's left himself this higher cut again, and the cue ball wants to squirt away here. He's got to get this under control. And it's okay so far. But I'll tell you what, if he can't get this one done, he's really on a knife edge. Well, this is just crying out for the little roll in the 9. And the roll in the 10. And this will give him the 2 rack cushion again at a vital time in the match. And zavierx desperate for a ball here in the break. Well, a couple of balls have gone in. Well, he has a shot in the 1, but he's not done too well all match with shots like this. He's not been very successful. Yeah, he's struggling to pick the potting angle in those type of shots. That's the big weakness, and that's what's scuppering his chances of stringing balls together. But you know, he's still in the match, but even if he ends up going in the one-loss side, he's going to really struggle to make much progress there. He has to show a lot more consistency, effectively raise his game, but he might not be that level of player yet. Oh, this might be ending up ugly. Oh, has he gone far enough? Yes, he's okay. And this might end up the same. He's going to have to jump out this one. Now, even with a jump shot, he's got to have a shot in the 7 as long as he can get the pace in the cue ball. But the fact that he's cutting the 6 in means the cue ball's got to come off the bottom rail and up the table. He's got to have a shot in the 7, surely. And he's more than done that. So this is the first critical shot to get onto this 9. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, this is a disaster, is it? Oh, he's okay. I thought that was in all the way. Well, now this might settle Spectredawn's nerves, getting to within 1 of victory. And with the break. So leading by 13 racks to 10. 6 ball goes in. As long as that 2 ball keeps running and gets out of the way, he's going to have a shot in the 1. And I don't think he has. He's going to have to jump this as well. But look at the balls. There's not a single ball in trouble. The only one, I mean, even the 5 ball isn't a problem because of where the 4 ball is. The 3, 4 and 5 are all pretty much together. And I think he's maybe hampered a wee bit by this 5. This is now trouble. He's got a difficult shot in the 2. Doesn't have to worry about the cue ball. Completely focus on the 2. And that's a good shot. And now he wants to avoid hitting the 4, so he's going to have to draw off this 3. And I think he's still okay. I just gently put it in with a bit of check. I don't think he did, so he's now got the high cut in the 5. But plenty of angle to finish up the table for this 7 ball. Oh, he's tweaked that one. Oh dear. Well, the nerves are back. Well, this is by no means a gimme. Is it going to drop in? Yes, it has. Now, where is he in the 7? He's pretty good, but he needs to go all out here with the top in the cue ball, and ideally a wee bit of inside. Now, is this asking too much? I think he's got there. That's a nice shot. And now this needs a full-blooded stun to get the cue ball off the rail, and he's not went into it enough. That needed a bit more. And the cue ball is running, and where's it going to end up? It's going to end up really, really awkward. Let's have a look at what he's got here. Oh, he's got no problem. Can cut that every day of the week, no risk of the scratch. As long as he doesn't try and do any draw shot or anything, he just has to pot it plain ball. And that will do it. Well, there's a get out of jail card there for Zavierx. And that all came about from that tweaky miss on the 5 ball. for Spectredawn. And Zavierx breaks off, trailing by 2. Gets a ball in the break. But no shot in the 1. And he really should be trying to brush this past that 8 and just tuck the cue ball away. He's got the room to do it. And that is tight. Now, well, I think Spectredawn still get every confidence that zavierx can't run out with all these balls on the table, because he's sacrificed ball in hand. Now, does zavierx think he can get Spectredawn on 2 fouls? Well, he's going to pot the 1. He's going to run into that 10 and go between the 10 and the 7, and going to have no shot in the 3 from this angle unless he can brush off it, just gently roll it in. It's still going to be a tough 3. Well, that's now very tough. But he only has to roll the 3 in. He doesn't have to get any power in it, and that's a mile away. Very awkward, but he's got himself on the 4. But he could have just simplified it by just dropping it in. Well, Spectredawn now has his chance to win the match. And can he do it? And he's got to get a sight on that 7 ball. Well, that's the thing, Slim. You've got to find a way of changing things. Doing something to try and help your game, but at the same time trying to unsettle your opponent. You've got to try and get them out of any kind of rhythm that they might have. And Spectredawn's got himself on the 7. And how can he hold himself together to put this match away? Well, plenty of room on this 8 ball. He has to go with it with full confidence to just come across towards the 10 ball. He can't have any doubts in his mind. You don't spend too long looking at this. Your natural instinct tells you what you have to do. You play the cut, get it across towards the 10. You see, even that one, he played it on the safety side. Didn't want to put too much in it. And hopefully he's had a look at this 9. Plenty of room. And now he's home and dry. So Spectredawn has won the match by 14 racks to 11. But I'll tell you something, guys. There's the big wake-up call for Spectredawn. Let's have a look at the bracket and see how he got there. Where is he? Yeah, Spectredawn had a forfeit in the first round. Karaoke didn't show. And I think that has played a big part in how this match ended up going, because Karaoke is very much a flashbang wallop at times playing the game. He can pot a ball, and that would have been, it probably ended up in a tough ass there against him, but he got the bye through to play zavierx. But he's going to have to shake his game up and settle down if he's going to make any impact in this tournament. If that's his worst match, then he'll be glad it's over, because he can only improve. And the bad news now is is going to be playing Stubb. And the one thing for certain, that Stubb is going to be all over him if he plays like that. And if he makes those amount of mistakes, he's going to be done and dusted by Stubb. So he's going to have to work in his game and work on that nerves, because that played a part big time in how zavierx ended up getting so many racks. So, looking at the bracket, the next match that we're going to have, this is the 10th, isn't it? I think the next match will be the Popman match against Interchange X, and that is going to be in 4 days' time at 6 PM British Summer Time. And then we've got the Mr. Bill semi-pro match the Sunday evening at 6 PM. So we've got some good matches to look forward to. On the one-loss side, there's a match that's a long way away between Mr. Nine Ball and that other fella. And there's other matches still to be arranged. There's one as well, Ice Age against Snake Eyes, which is on the Saturday at 9 AM. Well, I won't be here for that, I'll be at work. But until we meet again, folks, anybody that's still watching, thanks for your company, guys. It's much appreciated. And we will see you again soon. I will bid you good night and take care.